Hey guys, it's M4J here, and welcome back to the real Hatfield Town here on Football Manager 2021. So last time out then, in the stream last weekend, we completed the season basically. We played in the Aubrey Cup final against Glen Sports, and as you can see at the bottom of the screen here, we did indeed win that match. We won 4-0. It was a pretty convincing result really, despite the fact we had Harry Baker sent off in the first 4 minutes. And we really did have passages of play where we were struggling. Set pieces weren't particularly great. We did score a header from a corner, but besides that, we didn't do too much. The 4 goals kind of came out of nowhere. One of which, the first goal we scored, was an absolute gem from Carter Hudson Doncaster. But besides that, I don't think we actually played that well. 4-0 really does flatter us. And Glen Sports played a lot better than that too. They kept us pinned back in our half for most of the game. So what I'm learning from that is work still needed to be done, but also we can still pull out a result even when the odds are firmly stacked against us, which I'm not too upset by, actually. I think that's pretty cool. Off-camera revelations then, or just things that have happened off-camera since then. We have turned semi-pro. The club is now a semi-professional football club. We're now playing in Tier 10 of the English football pyramid. We were previously Tier 11, of course. And I have a new rule for this series. And it's a pretty short rule. You'll see why that is in a second. So, a couple of players, if I go into transfer history, a couple of players left and were then brought back. I used the editor to bring them back. I'll hold my hands up and I'll admit I did that. The reason I did that is because I wanted the first season to play out like it did in real life. So most of these players are still at the club. In fact, all of these players, to my knowledge, are still at the club. That may or may not be the case. If that isn't the case, let me know. But right now, the plan was to keep the squad as it was at the start of the season. Now, I can't control whether players accept or reject contracts. All I can do is nag them to do one or the other. And as it turns out, Hammond, Atu, Jacob, Moriarty and Tuttle all accepted offers. The biggest one being Tuttle going to Scunthorpe. That's a huge deal for a player from this level going up into the Football League. Assuming Scunthorpe are still in the Football League. Let me just check that. Yes. So for him to go into the Football League was a huge deal. But I wanted to keep the squad together. So I did use the editor to bring these players back. However, the rule from now on is as soon as kickoff takes place in our first competitive match this season, which I don't think the fixtures have been announced yet, so we'll see what that is. I think because we're in mid to late June now. I think it's the 25th or the 26th that the fixtures are announced, and I've actually got some pre-season friendlies to play before then. So I'm going to show you the first pre-season friendly in just a second. Once the first competitive kick of the ball is made this season, any player who leaves the club will remain left. Basically, we're in a new season now. We're in a new season. We've gone beyond where we are in real life. Therefore, whatever happens now is canon for the series. I'll use some film terms here. So if Hammond gets offered a contract by Wildston again and leaves, we have then lost our captain, technically. He is gone. He's still in the game. We'll get some progress reports on how well he's doing, but he will no longer play for Hatfield unless we bring him back in the future legitimately, which is something I would like to do with some of these younger players especially. For example, if Hudson Doncaster broke my heart and left the club, I would move mountains to try and bring him back in the future when we're a little bit higher up the pyramid. But I can imagine once some of these younger players have left, even some of the more experienced players have left, they will in fact remain gone for the rest of the series, because I can't imagine we'll ever be able to catch up enough to bring them back whilst they're still at their peak, if that makes sense. Some other developments then. So we have had some player departures still. One really did sneak up on me. You remember at the end of the last stream, I talked about players who I would like to keep hold of and play in certain positions. Thompson, off camera, just announced he was retiring. Like, it wasn't even try and convince him to stay kind of retirement. It was literally, he's announced he's retiring there and then. So I can't bring him back at all now, which I'm really annoyed about. Because I've got the option here with the editor, move to my club, but he never moves back. I've clicked that so many times, he never moves back. I wanted to try and make him a coach or a scout or a physio, whatever it might be, to keep him at the club. But no dice, I'm afraid. So we have lost Darren Thompson. 34, pretty good innings. It does say that his only club was Hatfield in the game, but that's not true, I'm sure. 5 goals and 11 appearances, though. That was a lot more than I thought. He did score a hat-trick in one game, so that does sort of balance that out a little bit more. The thing I'm most disappointed by, though, is I can't actually see his career stats. Not that he had any in the game anyway, but it would have been cool to have that. And I also don't know if there's a way that I can keep him in the game. I think this is it now. I think over time his profile might even disappear, which would be really disappointing. But just so that it's kept in the history books for this series, Darren Thompson was an absolute legend in the first season. He wasn't first choice, I'll admit that, but I was really looking to give him more opportunities this season, and I am very, very disappointed that he has in fact retired. Another retiree, if I go into staff here quickly, coaching team, or maybe just all. And who am I looking for? Who am I looking for? Why is he not there? Hang on. Yeah, Newman. So Newman was supposed to be a coach. I signed him up as a coach. Under 18s coach. He announced he was retiring. So I offered him terms as an under-18s coach, and he accepted. So I'm not quite sure why that didn't take. But, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to just offer him terms quickly. See if I can get him on 50 a week. Come on, Lee. Don't be greedy. Did we got him? Yeah. Looks like we got him. All right. So he should be joining the under-18s as a coach. Now, he's by no means the best under-18s. I mean, I can't get hold of his stats right now because I'm still using the skin where stats aren't there. But, one second, let me just put my phone on silent. I can't see what his stats are, but I can sort of tell from looking at this. They're not the greatest. But I did say any player who retired during the series, I would try and bring back as a staff member of some sort. And why not get one of the most experienced players at the club to become a mentor, role model figure for the under-18s coming through. So the one thing that does annoy me is his preferred formation is very different to the one that we were playing as, but there we go. And I can see his history still. He scored 11 goals in 14 appearances for us. He was an absolute beast. Absolute beast. Really, really happy with that. Okay, so what am I actually going to be doing in this episode then? Well, one thing I'd like to do is play a friendly, and we have got one lined up. In fact, if I show you... Can I go into it now? Yes. So we've got, again, the fixtures haven't been announced yet, and technically we're not in the new season yet, so that's why it was showing this one still. I've got a friendly against Hitchin, which is on the 22nd, which is the day I'm in now. In fact, it says team selection in the top right there. So we are about to bomb into that friendly. So this might be a single take recording. We'll see. And I want to give youth a chance again. So I'm going to bring some of the youth players back into the senior squad. We've got some other friendlies here, including Rushden and Diamond, Newport County, which I might make this weekend's stream. If I don't make that this weekend's stream, then Stevenage will be this. Actually, no, Boston will be this weekend's stream because it's the Hatfield Cup semi-final. And I might do a double... Actually, I'm regretting saying this already. I was going to say I might do a double header, stream the semi-final. If we make it to the final, stream that as well. I don't know if I will do that, actually. Not this season. Maybe in the future, when there's a little bit more on the line. But I really want to show off the Stevenage game. I was really surprised that I actually managed to get them in as a friendly, because I figured that they would have better things to do. They did stay up as well, which is awesome. And I love this team. I love this team. This season they've been so good. So good. And I know I should, maybe not big them up as much because this is a Hatfield save, but Stevenage are still one of my teams. I'm still a big fan of Stevenage. So, yeah. Anyway, so it will either be Newport or Stevenage, I think, the weekend stream. I'd like to have some more time to work with the players and some tactical ideas that I've got. So I'm leaning more towards Stevenage being the weekend stream. And then we can have one pre-season friendly like we did last season. And then we can go straight into the big kickoff after that. I think that's what's going to end up happening. But yeah, for tactics, I want to have a look at set pieces and particularly set piece takers, because things have now changed since last time out. And actually, before I commit to that, I want to have a look here at the under 23s, because we have got some players like Smith, for example, Macaulay, Stone, Batten, McGlade, actually maybe not McGlade, but Cantwell especially, who could now be promoted into the senior squad. They're definitely going to be promoted for pre-season, because I want to try these guys out in matches and see where we are. So these guys here particularly are going to be promoted. And if I go into the under 18s, I also want to bring up Maine. There's Macaulay again. There's Smith again. Daniels. Rice Puto as well. Yeah. And I think, is Jacob already in the senior squad? Where is Jacob? 1 second. Yeah. Okay, so Jacob's already in the senior squad. That's fine. So I'm going to do some work with set piece takers right now with these guys in the senior squad, because chances are these guys might end up being on the list of set piece takers. And I think especially like players like Reed have really shown that they can take corners and free kicks. In fact, if I show you here, he's the second best corner taker in the club, and I think actually no, he wasn't. He was only a 7, wasn't he, for free kicks? Yeah, he has good delivery, so that's weird. So we're going to do a quick pick, or am I? I'm going to think a bit more tactically this season. It's very easy just to hit the quick pick button, but you end up with players being picked like Moriarty, and Koic, in fact, who might not always be in the first 11, might not even be in the matchday squad. So what do you do then? Well, this is where this comes in. I always used to wonder, why does it matter that much about what foot they use? But when you watch football in real life, you do see you have in-swingers, you have out-swingers. And sometimes in-swingers are used when out-swingers are the better option. And boy, does that annoy me, and I imagine it annoys quite a few of you as well. And I think that's one of the problems we've been having this in this series so far, is we have the wrong people on set pieces. It's not just about the free kick stat, it's also about what foot they use, and therefore which side of the pitch they're on. Now, it is a good idea sometimes to have an out-swinger in set pieces. If you can get a good bullet header on an out-swinger, you have all the power in the world and you can blast it in the top corner. And in fact, I think that was the goal we scored from the set piece in the cup final. So because of that, we are going to look at bringing some left footers onto the left side and some right footers onto the right side. But in the interest of fairness, let's go with Reed on the left side and also on the right side. And he will act as our... Actually, hang on. No. Sorry. Messed up already. In the interest of fairness, let's do the first team players first, was what I was supposed to say. Ugh, that didn't come out right either. Is what I was supposed to say. But also think, again, tactically. So, Studholme, he can easily take corners from both sides. And therefore, we will do that. Baker, in theory, can take corners from both sides, left or right, in-swinger, out-swinger, on his left foot. But you want him in the middle, because he's your striker. He's one of the players who can win the headers in the box. So I don't think we're going to be using him either. In terms of the in-swingers then, Cantwell is going to see more match time, and we will add him to the list as we go on. We are actually struggling for first teamers for corners. Reed is going to go next, because I think he's a good backup option. He's got very good set-piece delivery. Same with Moriarty. And it is literally a priority list. This doesn't randomize. So Studholme will always take set pieces so long as he's on the pitch. If he's not on the pitch and Reed and Moriarty also aren't on the pitch, then it will default down to whoever's number 4. And I think if you run out of players on the list, it will then choose the best player on the pitch for the set piece. So I kind of want to fill this list as much as possible, just to make sure we don't end up with, Baker taking corners. So chances are Hudson Doncaster will be on the pitch more times than not. If he's not out there for whatever reason, then I think we should have someone like Cantwell, because if we've got playing with youth. And then I added Moriarty, didn't I? So I just want to keep avoiding Baker if I can. Now again, this looks really easy, except I want to change the order for some of this now. So the left-hand side, for example, we've got Studholme, who's right-footed, so that's an in-swinger. We got Reed, who's left-footed, so that's an outswinger. Moriarty is also right-footed, so that's an in-swinger. Hudson Doncaster is left-footed, so that's an outswinger. So we kind of got this alternating thing going on right now, which I'm not a huge fan of. And I certainly don't want this mirrored on this side, because I might want, for example, Reed to be the priority here. So we'll have in-swingers from both sides whilst these two are out on the pitch. Now, these two do actually play in the same position, although Studholme can play on the right. So chances are these two won't be on the pitch at the same time. Therefore, you want to default further down the list. So Hudson Doncaster, I want above Moriarty, because again, I would prefer to have the in-swingers on set pieces. Cantwell and Harding are both right-footers, but if you get this far down the list, then you're pretty much just putting out whoever's available to take the set piece. So in this case, the corner. So I think this is probably going to be the list that I'll settle with. Cantwell above Harding in both cases, but focus on the in-swingers as and when we can. And to make that even more so, I'm actually going to move these two like that. So it'll always be the in-swinger first, failing that, outswinger. Now it'd be cool if this would randomize, but I think that might be too complicated for new players, so maybe not with that. Free kicks then, very similar thing. I want Akram Chowdhury to focus on the right hand side, because chances are if it's on the right hand side, you have a direct shot on goal, you're going to put a left footer on it. Because of that, I'm then going to have Afsar on the left hand side, prioritising free kicks. Same reason, he's right footed, so on the left hand side, he'll have a shot on goal. Then we've got players like Moriarty again, who I would put on the left hand side. Then we've got Studholme, who will go also on the left-hand side because he is right-footed. Do we have any other lefties? We've got Christie, who I would like to give more game time to this season as well. In fact, didn't he score a free kick earlier in the season? I think he did. And those are the only left-footers we've got really in the top list. We can go down a little bit further to Baker, who I suppose I would throw in at this point. If it's a direct free kick, you're not going to be passing it to your striker, are you? So we'll let him have a shot on goal. Now, if none of these people are available on the pitch, then we'll start swapping them round. So Akram on the left-hand side, Afsar on the right-hand side. Studholme I would quite like on both sides, so we'll add him there. And then I want one more left footer on this side, and I think that's probably just going to be Christie. Now, we have got all the other free kicks as well, which I'll worry about in a second. The last one I won't worry about is throw-ins. So this is really easy. Argent on the left-hand side, because he's the first choice left-back. We don't want the goalkeepers. No, no, no. Reed also on the left-hand side, and then a 2 on the right. And also, we could have Tuttle if a 2's not playing for whatever reason. Who else do we have at right-back? Coic, that's it. And then the other left-back is Nash. So we'll have him as third choice. Easy. Right, so these other free kicks then. Direct with a small chance of shot. This mainly means the ball's going to be like put in the mixer and see what we can do. So again here, you kind of want... I'm actually tempted to go for outswingers for free kicks. Rather than... Because corners, you're playing from the byline and you're whipping it into the 18-yard box, essentially. But free kicks, especially direct small chance of shot... You will sometimes have a player shoot, but more often than not, it'll just be put the ball in the middle, and it'll be from a lot deeper, obviously, than a corner. So I think we want left footers on the left side and right footers on the right side, but we will have the switch as well, just in case. So for that reason, I'm going to put Akram here, Afsar here, Moriarty also here. And I am putting the twins ahead of everyone else, even though Moriarty's a better set piece taker, because chances are the twins are going to be out there more often than anybody else. I'm also going to put Daniels here, just in case he is on the pitch, and I probably should have done that for direct as well, but I think it would default to him anyway. Christie here, and now we can go for the in-swingers. So Studholme and Afsar, although I'll move Afsar ahead of Studholme, and then on this side we'll have one left footer, who's probably going to be Akram. And I think that's me set for that. Indirect wide, again, same thing. We're going to do probably, in fact, almost identical, in fact. So Akram there, Afsar there, Christie and Moriarty. And then Studholme I'm going to put in both because he's a good set piece taker. And then we're going to do the swap. So Akram there and Afsar there. And I'm just going to keep it relatively simple like that. And for the deep, now this is where this is a little bit different. So when you're playing an indirect deep free kick, more often than not, it'll be from things like offsides. Therefore, you want players in your own half really taking these, which in our case is more likely to be the centre-backs, sometimes even the goalkeeper. Now, I don't really want to put Extents or Murray on free kicks right now, but the centre-backs, yeah, I can do that. So if we start off with players like Christie from both sides, because he plays more often than not as the left-sided midfielder anyway, stay back if needed is his default thing. So we'll put Christie, Evans, Ruiz, because he's pretty good at set pieces as well, but also wherever Sadler is there, because Sadler is first choice centre-back, and then just because we'll look at putting the fullbacks in as well, so Argent, and I'm putting them on both sides because, you know, it doesn't really matter where they are at this point, especially if it's inside our own half. It means they're just back defending. So that is what I'm going to do for that. I am going to quickly go back up to direct here, and I am going to put Daniels in from the left side. And do we have any other left footers? Hudson Doncaster, there we go, on the right side, just as an extra utility. And the last one I'm going to do here before I go into the match is penalty takers. Now this is really just a case of quick pick and see who we get. So it's got Jacob, Moriarty, Baker. I'm also going to add Christie, Rahman Lewis, Argent, Gonzalez Velasco, Atu, and Studholme. Although I'm going to swap Studholme, move him up here. In fact, is Argent a 10 as well? Yeah, so I'm going to move him. And Rahman Lewis, in fact. So I'm going to move Studholme right up to the top here. So I think this is good. We're focusing on the priority here first. You do also want to have a look at finishing. So for that reason alone, I'm going to move Baker up to the top. And then Christie just behind. So penalty taking is important, but finishing and also composure is pretty important. And Baker's got a higher composure than Christie. So I think this is going to be my penalty takers. And we have the box ticked at the bottom here. So any player who's on a hat trick and we can see we win a penalty, they will take the penalty. Doesn't matter whether it's the goalkeeper, the left back, the mascot. You know, whoever's on a hat trick will take that penalty, and we'll hope that they score it. It'd be a very awkward conversation if they don't, put it that way. Now, the reason I've got so many penalty takers set up here, and I even will add Koech, Hammond, and Ruiz just because they're on 9s. If we ever go to a penalty shootout, it's nice to have the order already organised. I don't know if the players actually know what the order is right now because I've set it up, or whether they find out on the match day. But for me personally, it's nice to just have it already set up so we can go in. We can make minor tweaks here and there if necessary, but overall it will be set up and ready to go. Alrighty then, so we're going to go into team selection. Oh, hang on, sorry, one more thing I did forget to do was turn off. Oh no, it's still off. Oh yeah, because I haven't played a match since. Alright, we'll go into the team selection then for this friendly against Hitchin. And I'm going to go pick youth prospects. And it in no way picked any youth prospects. Interesting. In that case, I'm going to clear the team. And now do pick youth prospects and see what it does. Yeah, that's not ideal. So, because of that, we'll start from scratch. Smith in goal. Back four then of, I'm going to say Ruiz at left back, because I am still training him to play left back. And then we're going to have Main as the left-sided centre-back. I believe he's set up correctly. Looks like he is. And then alongside him, we're going to have Tuttle. And then at right back, I don't think we have anyone in the youth team who can play at right. Oh, we got Macaulay. That's true. So we'll play Macaulay at right back, but we'll have him set as a fullback. I think defend. What's his main position? Inverted wing back. Ah, okay. Let's be creative then and go with an inverted wing back on this side. Set to defend. Perfect. So that's our back five sorted. Midfield then. I think I am going to have Christie at the left-sided midfield. And then alongside him... maybe Stone? I think Stone. at right midfield, and your main position is... Actually, you're a ball-winning midfielder. Or you can also play as a Carrilero. Ooh. And you are a central midfielder. You're also a box-to-box. In that case, then, I'm going to swap these two round. So Stone is going to play as the ball winner, and Christie is going to play as a box-to-box, set to support. Interesting. We're going to have the twins on the wings. So Akram on the left, Afsar, wherever he's gone, there he is, on the right. And then Jacob is going to go up front. And I'm currently toying with the idea of putting... Daniel's a striker. He's a cam, advanced playmaker. I might start Daniels then as the cam. And then we'll have Hudson Doncaster on the bench. I am fully anticipating several subs to be made in the first half. Let's put it that way. Bench then is going to be Argent, Evans, and then possibly Coic as well, just to have that. Oops, you're supposed to be number 3, not number 4. There we are. And then Gadger. But actually Batten instead of Gadger. Keep the youth where I can. So what's that? That's up to 4. So I've got 3 more main subs. So let's go with Rahman Lewis as 5. Cantwell as 6. And Moriarty as 7. Okay. And then if I look at the positions I haven't got on the bench, so I've got a left back, I've got a centre back, I've got a right back. So we're missing another centre back. Let's go with, just because he's not played much, we'll go with Freddie Newman. We're also missing another central midfielder, unless you count Moriarty, of course. Now Batten, is he the one I've retrained as a cam? He's the one I'm in the process of retraining as a cam, but I think he'll come on as a central midfielder. So he'll count as the central midfielder sub. I'm going to bring Hollis in as well, in fact. Like so. And then we're going to have Reed. And then possibly Hudson Doncaster, like I said. And then Baker. Now, I imagine Baker will come on in the first half for Jacob. That's just something I'm pretty much resigned to seeing happen. But yeah, I think I'm ready to go into the game. So... quick readout of the lineup. Smith in goal, Ruiz, Main, Tuttle, Macaulay, Stone, Christie, Akram Chowdhury, Daniels, Afsar Chowdhury, and then Jacob up top. Let's go. So tactics-wise, no one was unhappy, which suggests that this pre-season might be better for us. I don't know whether our training schedule has changed going semi-pro. I imagine it's actually the same. Also, I've just realised you probably won't be able to hear the game. I might have to change my audio settings quickly because, yeah, I'm on the wrong... I'll go into the game first and then we'll go from there. Let's go with this one. Complacency from Argent. Argent's really annoyed with me for some reason. I don't quite know why. Don't really know why. Right, let's get audio set up. I think it is this one, but we'll wait and see when the highlight comes. We're flying through this first half right now. Almost 10 minutes on the clock already. Just for that, I'm going to change... Oh, we have a highlight. Oh, I've also got the wrong sound. 1 second. Audio. So it's not that one. It is that one. I've got 2 audio devices with the same name. So it can be tricky sometimes to choose the right one. Okay. So, Corcoran on the ball. Sprays it out wide to Felix. He's being chased down by Ruiz. Cross comes in. Good header from Ryan there. Just went over the bar. I am going to change this from key to extended just so we get a little bit more time to look at some of these passages of play, shall we say. I don't think we've had much of the ball in this game. Also, I was talking about subs being made like I wasn't in control. I'm the manager, aren't I? I haven't got the match plan turned on. So that's yeah, I was confusing myself then. I was thinking, why am I saying this? Oh yeah, because I think I've got the match plan on and I haven't. So yeah, I'm in charge. So whatever happens, I'll be controlling. I might do a first 11 and a second 11. So the first half will play with one 11, and then the second half will switch to a different 11. That might be a good idea. I'll see about doing that. Then you get a good scope as to what your 11 can be. And then we'll start mixing and matching as the preseason goes on. Good challenge there from Akram. Has he got a run in him? He's got no overlap from Ruiz. That's something we might have to work on. He ends up being dispossessed. That's a nice ball in behind, actually, if Ryan's on side. Smith did come, changed his mind, and that is a cracking save to keep this game at 0-0 there. That was a really good save. Offside flag did actually go up, but Smith wasn't to know that. Actually, looking at stats, we're in this game. 50-50 possession. We've had only a couple less shots than them. Here's Christie then with the outswinging corner. And he picks out Tuttle. Okay, maybe I was wrong with the outswingers versus the inswingers. I always prefer inswingers on corners, but I do understand the merit of an outswinger. That was a heck of a header, though, from Tuttle. We'll get the replay here. Christie whipping it into the back post. Tuttle completely unmarked. That plays a part in it as well, I suppose. He finds the back of the net. It's good to see our set-piece tactics that we changed a couple of weeks ago coming into play as well. And here's Christie on the in-swinger. Oh, and he found one of the Chowdhury twins. I didn't see which one that was, actually. A. Chowdhury doesn't really help, does it? And he had an open goal. I think that was Akram. He had an open goal, and he missed it. Bit disappointing. Very disappointing. Ruiz then with the throw to Akram. Pulls it back to Daniels. He crosses it in. Headed away from Afsar. Christie now chasing it down. And getting there. Nice pass to Afsar. Macaulay on the overlap, I hope. No. Afsar's going on his own. Now he pulls it back to Macaulay. He gets it onto his stronger left foot. Crosses it in. Akram with the volley at the far post. And that's a really nice finish as well. Akram Chowdhury. On his weaker foot as well. Hooked it with the right. Good play from Macaulay here, in fact. Afsar doing all the running. Macaulay just keeping himself in space. One touch to get onto his stronger foot. Crosses it in. Low and flat. Just overhead height. Into Akram. Great volley. I'm really liking the look of Macaulay as a utility fullback. He might be on the bench a fair amount this season just because he can play left back and right back. He's a proper utility defender. If he could play centre back as well, that would be awesome. But I don't think he's got the stats to play centre back. I don't think he's tall enough or strong enough. If he was, believe me, he would be in there. They're suggesting I take off Akram and replace him with Carter. We've got another 10 minutes or so before half time, so I think I will do that. I will make a tweak, though, at half time to do with that. I'll show you what that is in a second. This has been a good first half. I didn't think we'd be 2-0 up right now. Let's put it that way. I thought we might be losing even, or maybe 1-0 one side or the other. So to be 2-0 up at this point, pretty happy with that. Can't complain. Let's put it that way. 8 shots, 4 on target as well. We're starting to dominate possession more. Hitchin started really well, but they faded. It's interesting. Alrighty then, half time. So we'll have a look at the analytical data quickly. We have actually pinned them back. I was surprised by that. I was very surprised by that. And player stats, again, we are on Hatfield good. Not a huge amount to write home about. You can't really get much from the first half. I mean, passing so far from Ruiz has been appalling. We might have to address that at some point. But overall, you know, it is what it is. Half-time subs then. So I'm going to move Carter inside instead of Daniels. And then we're going to bring Reed on for Daniels. Baker on for Jacob. Batten on for Christie. Moriarty on for Stone. This might be a complicated midfield, but it should work. So Moriarty's preferred position is as a central midfielder set to defend. So I will make him do that. I've just clicked on his name again. That was dumb. Moriarty, central midfielder, set to defend. So he is going to be the more defensive-minded still. And Batten is actually a box-to-box. So that works perfectly. Argent then at left back. Koek at right back. And then we've got Evans, who's going to play left-sided centre-back. And then Freddie Newman, who's going to play right-sided centre-back. And then who are we missing? Cantwell on for Afsar. And I didn't bring a sub-goalkeeper. I just realised. Okay, Smith seems to be playing the whole game. And in that case, I'm going to keep Rahman Lewis and Hollis as backups. Just in case another player gets injured. There you go. Hard work will be worth it at the end of the season. Let's go into the second half then. Baker with the kickoff back to Freddie Newman. Who I suppose we can just call Newman now because the other Newman's retired. All the subs now. I love how it's like, you know, here's 3 subs. And then that goes away. Here's 3 more subs. And then that goes away. Here's 3 more subs. It's great. Alright, Batten to Moriarty. Good touch from Batten. Takes confidence to attempt something like that first time. Evans with the ball forward. Baker does well to bring that down, actually. And he's fed it through towards Cantwell. And it was Batten with the shot. Recycling the ball as well. We're doing that well. Good to see. And we are pretty much totally in control of this match now. That's very, very interesting. Very interesting. Probably not interesting for you guys, but that's interesting for me. Because it shows that the players are starting to try new things themselves. And I have it set to be more expressive. And it certainly seems as though they're doing that. So following the ball up there from Batten, that was good. That's what a box-to-box midfielder is meant to do. Although that's a good finish from Max Ryan. I thought that's a João Felix with the assist then. No, Joe Felix. As soon as that ball went over the top, I thought this is probably going to end in a goal. It's a throw from Felix. Yeah, I'm going to tell Evans to man mark him. So Felix with the ball over the top. Evans completely lost his man there. That's a nice volley. Not much Smith could do about that. Perhaps he went down a little early. The ball went over him. Only just onside, actually. Newman stepping back just at the wrong moment. And yeah, cracking volley. Moriarty now then with the free kick. Right-footed on the right-hand side. Plays it to the back post. That was Newman with the header. Just over the top. You can see what I mean about in-swingers from there. Sorry, an outswinger from there. Wait, did I say that? Yeah, an outswinger from there. An in-swinger there wouldn't be that beneficial. Ooh, good shot from there though. And that was Newman with the follow-up, but he was offside. But yeah, going back to the set pieces thing again very quickly. The outswinger. Oh, wow. It's because you swing it into the box no matter what you do from those positions. The outswinger there on the right foot means if the keeper comes for it, there's still a chance you can lob him. Whereas if you in-swing it, the keeper's running towards the ball, like they're going to meet each other. Whereas an outswinger, the keeper's running to try and catch the ball on its trajectory, where the ball's going to be, not where it is, if that makes sense. I don't know, I'm explaining this really badly. I'd probably need diagrams for this, but I'm not going to do any because I'm lazy. Basically, it's to do with where the keeper's positioning is and where the keeper's movement will be. And an outswinger encourages the keeper to actually come out and try and catch the ball, which means you have an empty goal to aim for. An in-swinger means it's a lot easier for the keeper to come out and just claim it. Okay, read on the ball. Let's talk about what's happening on the pitch rather than just speaking gobbledygook. He took it a long way down the pitch there. I would have liked it if he'd passed it on or even got a cross in, but I can't complain too much, I suppose. Argent's throw, Hudson Doncaster with the flick on. That's what I mean about the keeper coming to claim it and not necessarily getting there. The defender was always going to get that. I don't really know what their keeper was doing there. Moriarty then back to Evans. Sprays it to Argent. Good first touch. Is he going to cross it? He's running inside with it. Lays it off to Reed. Back to Argent. Goes for the shot, which was blocked. Baker forcing the clearance out for a throw-in. So this is still going pretty well, I must say. Still going pretty well this game, despite conceding the goal. Still on top, 12 shots, 6 on target, 60% possession. They've had 8 and 2. Throw-ins, we've had 35 throw-ins. That's insane. They've had 16. Wow. So Evans then with the ball forward. Newman with the flick. That's a hell of a header. So again, that's the set-piece strategy paying off. Evans was back taking the free kick. Now, sometimes you might want him in the box to actually win the header there. But when you've got the other centre-back going forward, we've got the two full-backs there as well. So you see it's 3v1. And we actually keep our formation quite well then. And that's a really good header from Newman. Up and over the keeper. Into the back of the net. 3-1 now. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. And just like that, this game looks comfortable again. I'm surprised by how well we've played in this match. I'm going to make some subs. I'm just pausing it quickly so that I can do it. Hudson Doncaster is going to come off, and I'm going to bring Darcy on to play there. And Cantwell is also looking tired, so Rahman Lewis is going to see out the match as well, just to avoid injuries. And I know the rest of the squad could still get injured now, and then we'll be down to 10 men, but when they're looking jaded like that, it's just safety first. It's the first friendly of the season. Let's just bring them off, play it safe, make sure they're ready for the next game. Argent infield to Hollis then. Tried to play it across to Rahman Lewis. Not the best pass in the world, let's be honest. Batten with the closing down there. Moriarty losing Williams. Williams going for goal. That's a good save from Smith. 3 minutes of injury time. Let's try and keep it at 3-1 if we can. That was Batten's header all day long. Now Darcy can chase this one down. Reed on the far side is completely open. Rahman Lewis is running down this side as well. Baker has strayed offside. And Darcy ends up getting tackled. Now that's not... I'm not happy with that, to be honest. I think he should have done a bit more with it there. Don't know whether he's just time wasting or what, but that wasn't particularly good. He's got another chance here now though, and he does play it out wide to Rahman Lewis, and that was a good pass with some good weight on it as well. Rahman Lewis with the cross to the edge of the box. Moriarty with the takedown. Perhaps he could have hit that first time. I think that one's gone begging as well. In fact, I think that's going to be full time in a second. I don't see us having any more chances, particularly as we're just crossing into the 94th minute now. Keeper with the long kick forward. Headed away by Newman to Reed. He does an up and under. Baker's through on goal, actually. This could still be 4-1. Oh, the defender just caught up to him. And that is full time. So that was a really good performance. I was surprised by that. We'll just have another look at this Baker chance. Really good header there. Great touch and play there from Reed as well. I think he's left-footed, in fact. So that was on his weaker foot he played that one through. And yeah, just got away from Baker in the end. Defender caught him up. He's not the fastest, I'll give him that. But, you know, a really good performance from the team. Really, really good performance. Man of the match. Did it say Tuttle was man of the match? Yeah, okay. I guess he did get a good rating, 7.3. 7.0 for Smith, which considering he conceded a goal, that shows some of the other good bits he did during the game, some good saves. They had how many shots on target? 3. So he made 2 saves. I guess they were 2 good saves. I don't know whether that one we saw at the end where he tipped it over was actually on target or not. It might have been going over anyway, so I don't know if that counts. But still, a good performance from a 16-year-old goalkeeper. McCauley as well with a 7.2. He managed to get the assist. Also an assist for Christie and an assist for Evans. So good performances from them. It's good to see we're starting to get a bit creative with set pieces as well. So it's not just, you know, a couple of weeks ago we looked at set piece strategy where your players go, who runs where, whether you have players staying back, going forward, that kind of thing. But just as important is actually who is actually swinging the ball into the box. If you've got the right person taking the set piece and you've got the right person on the end of it, you're almost guaranteed a goal. So that's what's important to remember here. In terms of the analytical data then, yeah, we kept them pinned back with their weird Christmas tree formation, whereas we were pretty much across the halfway line. The fullbacks a little bit deep for my liking. I would have liked, especially at Argent, I'd have liked to see him more in line with, that is Christie, isn't it? I think that was Christie. But yeah, really good performance, really, really happy. Actually, wasn't Argent, that was Ruiz, number 3. So, okay, that makes a little bit more sense. I'll have a look at Ruiz's player instructions and try and get him into the game a little bit more. But yeah, that will do it for this episode, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. And of course, if you enjoyed the series so far, drop some comments down below. Let me know what you think about my set piece strategies. I don't claim to be an expert on the subject, so if you have any ideas that are better than mine, feel free to let me know. Always looking out for good advice there. And also any ideas for staff additions and things like that. I am still looking for John to send me the details of the youth players to get them into the game. So keep an eye out for those if you're wondering where those have gone. And besides all that good stuff, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button. If you have already subscribed to the channel, thank you guys for your continued support. And until next time, I will see you soon.